Hello everyone and welcome to Shopline Masterclass, where we share tips and advice on how to build a successful e-commerce business. I'm the host for today, Tim, and I'm the head of content at Shopline Singapore. So in today's webinar, we'll be discussing on which e-commerce strategies you can use to diversify your advertising channels. And so for our agenda today, we're going to talk about if Facebook ads are still profitable. So if some of you don't know that there has been some big changes to Facebook ads in the past year or so, which have led a lot of people to lay off it, but I think Aaron is going to talk a little bit more about that, and that leads to our second part, which is how do we keep them profitable, right? So you want to make sure that they are profitable and you have the right formula to do so. And then the third thing we're going to talk about from Gary is Google Shopping, which is a perfect alternative to use.
So what happened after the iOS 14 update last year? So essentially, this update gave iOS users the option to opt out of tracking across their entire web surfing behavior. Previously, before the update, Facebook used to know when you visited other websites on the internet, because it was tracking your whole thing. It was tracking your behavior, your cookies on and off Facebook, right? But now with this change, with this update, the user has the option to opt out of that. Is Facebook ads still worth it? Is it still profitable for online merchants? So the answer to this is it really depends. A Facebook ads campaign can bring you so much money and profit, right? So as you can see, regardless of the changes, so a successful Facebook ad campaign can bring you so much money and profit. And as you can see, regardless of the changes, Facebook ads is still the channel that enables us to target the largest group of audience, so you can never cut them out. So the elements of successful Facebook ad campaigns are product, content, and technique. So as you can see, 50% of your success will be determined by your product. 40% will be determined by content, and surprisingly enough, not as many people think. Only 10% is determined by technique. Me and my friends, we usually joke about the fact that content is king, but product is God. So you know that how important product can be for your business. So that is the first technique. The second one is about the lookalike audience. So you see that the biggest hit in your Facebook ads will be for the lookalike audience, lookalike campaigns. Not that Facebook cannot still create them, it's just those audience are going to be much smaller because Facebook won't be able to identify as many people as they would have fallen into them. So this is like a big hit to small businesses. And for those that have been running Facebook advertising campaigns, you know that lookalike audience was a very good way to target the right customer, right? But right now with the changes, with the data inefficiency, lookalike campaigns, lookalike audience is performing less and less effective, and that's it. I have found and I have gathered some information about what people have been doing in order to avoid all these negative things, which is to use 5 to 10% lookalike audience instead of 1 to 3%. So in order to increase the volume of audience from the first party data.
So why should you be using Google Ads? Alright, so there's really 3 reasons why I love the platform, and the first thing that I really like about it is the fact that it is super duper consistent and super duper long term in general. So when you find a winning product on Facebook, let's be honest, the lifespan of the product is gonna be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and sometimes even 1 month, right? And on TikTok it's even worse. Once you find a winning product, maybe you sell it for 2 weeks and you find a new creative, and it's a constant struggle. And the thing that I really like about Google Ads is the fact that when you find a winning product, right, you're probably gonna run it for maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. And funny enough, the case study that I'm gonna show you guys, the 7-figure store that I was running, we actually ran the store for 1 year, did over $1 million in sales. And honestly, I'll still be running the store today if not because of some issues that I faced within the business that made me stop selling the product. Otherwise, that could easily have been a multiple 7-figure product. Maybe you can get down 2, 3, 4, 5 million, who knows, right? So that's the first reason, right? Very consistent results and month in, month out, very long term in general. We find a really good winning product. And right now, I'm just gonna go inside my ad account, show you guys the kind of campaigns that we had running, also to kind of further verify the results that I was getting. So you can see, right, overall in the campaign we spent about 400,000 Singapore dollars, which means that's about 300,000 US, maybe about $860,000 in sales, about 45k in refunds, made about like 100, maybe 120 grand USD in this store over the span of 1 year. And you can see like all the results, basically all the money making campaign from the first 3 campaign. It's all like shopping campaign, and then we only had like one little search campaign that only made like we only spent about 7k Sing dollars. We did quite good, in terms of the return on advertising spend. But in general, right, most of the products that you sell, the shopping campaign is gonna be the main thing. So that's what you really want to focus on. Make sure you're setting that up right. You learn from someone that's legit. And if you guys want to learn more about Google Ads, like Go Shopping and stuff, right, you can just like go and search for my name, Gary Lim, on YouTube channel. The first guy that comes up is gonna be me, the handsome guy, the Chinese guy. Subscribe to my channel and watch those videos.
With the report I read about social commerce, this past week, so 81% of customers complain about poor landing experience, when they're referred by social channels. So what this means is people are placing ads and they're running good ads, but the point is, once they try to redirect to their store, it doesn't work. So that means basically, it means that all this effort you're putting on ads are working, but they can't convert because your destination is not a good place, or you don't even have a really good destination for all this traffic to land to. So with this e-commerce customer journey, it always starts with awareness. So when you're placing your ads, people are aware of your ads or your brand, and that could lead to them being interested in purchasing with you, right? So this is what Aaron talked about earlier. Your good content, your good ad copies, your pictures, attract them, let them be interested, let them have this desire to shop with you. And then when they're ready, give them the landing, give them the website where they can redirect smoothly without having any hiccups and placing that order. So this is the first 4 steps are basically what it works, how it works when you place an order with an e-commerce website. But the next step is actually reordering. So use your marketing initiatives, use your user-generated content, use your organic traffic, use marketing initiatives to build this traffic you already have and make them order again, as long as you have good products, right? Products is king, right, Aaron? So this is what he means. If you have good products, your advertising efforts won't be wasted because they'll keep buying from you. And the next thing I want to talk about is an app store that Shopline has. So Shopline actually has an app store, and we actually develop 80% of our apps in-house. So this is really different from what other e-commerce platforms are doing when they have third parties developing their apps. And this also ties back to me talking about a good and smooth landing. We want all these apps to work with each other and to give you a high stability and compatible website with anything. So I think this is one of the things that Shopline is really doing good in terms of other e-commerce platforms. And believe me, I've used other ones. Some of the apps just don't work well and they really mess up your store and it doesn't work. Right? So with Shopline, you build your landing safely. Use apps to build on top of that to get that high conversion, to get your customers to reorder. Because don't let apps slow you down. So this is my next slide. So 72% of shoppers will only wait 2 to 3 seconds for a page to load. I've had experiences when I use an app and my page takes like 15 seconds to load. And that's really gonna mess up my conversion rate, my time on site, etc. And 71% of shoppers don't convert due to slow page loading time. So with in-house apps, that solves that problem of you losing traffic, losing customers because your page can't load. And I want to talk about 2 important apps that the Shopline App Store actually provides. The first one is the Facebook Advertising Data Report Assistant. So with the new update, that Aaron has talked about last year, so you're not getting any of your data synced back in, and it's a big problem because how are you going to optimize your ads when you don't know if they're performing well or not? So basically, you're trying to guess if they're doing well or not, which is it's impossible because at the end of the day, you have to count your ROAS, right? You have to make sure that each ad I'm performing is good and it can generate a good amount of revenue for me. And with this update that Aaron has talked about, in the beginning, a lot of people who are doing e-commerce, they don't know anymore. they're just guessing that, this doesn't work, or maybe my sales dropped this month because of my Facebook ads, but how do I change it? You don't have an idea. So with this app, what you're doing is you're getting your data back. So basically, it is reporting the data back to your ads, and so you know what's going on with your advertising campaigns, and you know the performance of it. And also in this app, it will actually calculate the ROAS for you. So you don't even have to do it yourself anymore. You can just click to the back end of this app. It'll tell you how much money you're spending on each ad set, each ad campaign, and what is the ROAS for each of those. So I think this app is really good to be used with Big Spy as well, because you're looking at other people's references and you're seeing which ones are performing well as well. So it's very transparent for you to have references in this day and age where everything is kind of a mystery with Facebook ads.
Yeah, thanks for your sharing, Tim. Yeah, I think that it's been very fruitful, especially for people who are starting out with the advertising campaign. So I think that when it comes to advertising channels, there's the undying quote that I want to share is that never put all your eggs into one basket, right? So it's always important to diversify your ad channels, to test out new channels. It's always nice testing, because one day if Facebook ad doesn't work anymore, you still have some other backups, right? Plan B, plan C, plan D. So all in all, it's important. Try it out. TikTok, Google Ads, Pinterest, Twitter, even LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn is also proven to be a pretty good channel to try out. So all in all, test it and just make it work.
I also want to thank Gary for hopping on to our first Shopline Masterclass with us. I hope there are many more to come, between the three of us. And I thank you all for listening, and I hope we'll see you into the next one.